we move forward to the next session. It's again a panel discussion, hospital perspective on technology adoption and challenges. Here too, we have two chairpersons and we have three speakers. Going forward to introducing our chairpersons, we have Dr. Naveen Chitkara, who is the Director and Consultant Neurosurgeon for NHS Hospital, Jalandhar, Punjab. He has been Director of Two Petals Innovations, former Technical Committee member for the NABH, a member of the Quality Council of India, winner of DL Shah Award 2014 and 15, and around 48 international and national publications, and 8 innovations accepted in various journals. Our next chairperson for this session is Dr. Colonel M. Dayananda, Director of JSS Hospital, Mysore. He comes with a wide experience in the field of hospital administration and has served in various hospitals of the country. He's an advisory committee member, Bureau of Indian Standards, New Delhi, which is presently developing quality standards for hospitals in India. He has edited a handbook on management of military hospitals. And his last assignment was in the capacity of medical superintendent of KMC Manipal Hospital and the chief operating officer of all teaching hospitals of Manipal University and Sikkim Manipal University. Mr. Nishan Jaiswal, he is currently the GM operations of Nanavati Super Specialty Hospital, Mumbai, and he is the member of the Western Task Force on Healthcare 21-22, and he's been the state coordinator of Maharashtra for the Health and Environment Leadership Platform. Over 17 years of experience in quality, healthcare IT, customer experience, telemedicine, risk management, hospital planning, operations, marketing, and CSR. He won the prestigious Asia Pacific Award, Healthcare Digital Award in 2019 for implementing operations. BOTs enabled real-time monitoring of the discharge process and patient experience. Over to you, Chair. So we have to move forward to this dynamic session to hear more. I hand over to the chairpersons. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity, Kaho. So we will be moving forward to the hospital sector in particular. This is about absorption or the perspective of the hospital regarding the technology. So what we are looking at is that during this COVID pandemic and after that its effects are still felt, that everything has changed and technology has touched lives in different ways. It is not only in hospital, in all aspects of life. You can see people virtually connecting and meeting, and even the students are learning through Zoom mode, as well as in fact, in the medical colleges, we are conducting examination through the virtual way. So the hospital is not left unattended. So hospital is also part of the same system. So in the last, though the technology has been there and the hospitals have been there for quite long, the absorption of technology in hospital field was rather slow because of various constraints as well as legal aspects, as well as understanding by the healthcare people about the benefits of IT. So what has happened today is that the COVID has enhanced everything and speeded up everything. So we are forced to adopt technology at a faster pace. First came the telemedicine. It's almost become very routine in our this thing. Government of India came out with very relaxed rules regarding telehealth programs. Now we have it's become very, very common that we have teleconsultation, telemonitoring is going on. So all this is happening through hospitals also, through clinics and other areas also. So the absorption of technology is rather fast during this time. However, the core activities of the hospital, they still remain the same. It has not really made an impact in terms of what we expect in IT taking away certain menial jobs and doing something. It is not happening in the hospitals, at least in the larger hospitals. So that is what we need to see, and probably the more light will be thrown by our very eminent speakers. I'm sure they will be able to do a good job of what they are doing in their hospitals or in the hospital fields in particular. Otherwise, in the hospitals, though the technology absorption is slow, it is happening now, and lot of benefit we are getting through companies are coming up, a lot of startups are coming up. Only a few days back, Kaho itself has organized a health innovation this thing, and there are about 15 selected hospitals which presented very unique things that can that can help the hospital run better, make it more accurate, make it more patient friendly. And that's what we saw only a few days back. So that is again, congratulations to Kaho. So now the hospitals that we are looking at, I'm looking at a larger hospital in particular, though technology is affecting everyone. So in larger hospital, lot more can be done, which we would like to hear from the CIOs. So can I request the next star speaker, that is Nishant Jaiswal, to come on and present his presentation, please.
So thank you, sir. Good evening to all of you, all the dignitaries. Dayanand, sir. I'll start my presentation. Scaling technology adoption is the theme and our perspective from the hospital side. I have designed my conversation in 3 segments: why we need it, what all tech as a hospital we have adopted, and what is the scaling challenges and the opportunities what we need to do. Here I have just picked up certain correlations between various industries and why we need it. So digital consumer knows processing stage of each service products. We know we cancel the Ola if it shows 10 minutes waiting time, and that is how the customers are today. They want everything in real time, and they want to know everything in real time what is happening with them. So Amazon, Zomato, Swiggy, so they relate healthcare services also today with Zomato, Amazon experience. As far as hospitals, medical records are concerned, we are the most paper intensive than any other industry, and we must go green and save trees. I did a small survey a year back to understand what is the paper consumption, and I came to a conclusion that 50-bed hospital needs 40 trees of 50 kg each to generate that much of pulp to meet the paper requirement of a hospital which has a HIS and not other digital solutions. The Google summarizes every month where we traveled. Likewise, we need our health records also in a click. If I have done my RBS or any test in past 1 year, I should have a trend chart that how I have performed over a period of time. That is what people are looking for. And hospitals lag behind in consumer-facing technologies than any other industries. And that is why so much of intervention is required. COVID-19, as everybody has said, in past 20 months, got patients, doctors adopting health tech, which never happened in last 20 years. At our hospital, I have classified into 5 segments the entire software application. So patient-centric applications, we have online OPD appointment, which each hospital has today. It's just a correlation, app-based teleconsult, online payments, SMS-based OPD prescription access, after consult, real-time access of discharge process, lab test processing, online web portal, so on, so forth. In facility management and safety, emergency code alarm software, all the utility services, real-time status on mobile phone, hazardous waste management and monitoring on softwares, ERP, doctor applications, digital pen paper, OPD prescription, more than 245 consultant use it, specific customized templates 29, rapid AI, brain stroke management software, real-time ICU patients, and all the applications in biomedtech equipment and ERP and HIS. And this is how the entire adoption of health tech in our hospital is, but still a long way to go for patient-centric applications. As far as scaling technology adoptions is concerned, healthcare startups have played a vital role in past 5 years. They brought competition, they brought new innovations, the possibility of interoperability, patient-centric tech, mobile health, and new business models. So what needs to be done and what are the challenges? So the first is changes in end product, which happens after the inputs from various other stakeholders. So end users input at design phase is required. What I mean to say is that a hospital in itself is a very diversified product mix. We have government hospital, we have corporate hospital, we have tertiary, coronary care, secondary, primary, we have single specialty, multi-specialty, different specialist doctors, different way of thinking, different requirements. So when we involve the clinicians and the hospitals during the design phase of any product or solution or a medtech device, we need to involve all these people. Then only the entire input to design a product and its scalability at each level, be it metro ratio, be it tier 2, tier 3, can be possible. And that is what needs to be done. Second is willingness to share clinical data. We need guidelines. We need guidelines to be defined to encourage hospitals to share data for product development. Since more than a decade, it has stuck there. The larger the data, the larger the base pool for any AI or ML programming. And this is what needs to be done. If it needs to be incentivized ethically, it shall be in the coming years. High cost of tech solutions. So we need hub and spoke model, cost and software sharing for larger adoption between a bigger hospital and a smaller hospital, or in any combinations, be it subscription based, but an innovative way to share or minimize the cost. The lack of business modeling at a design phase. So if we do the financial viability at a designing phase only, that whether we are replicating a particular solution or a unique innovation is there, it will help the startups to give a better direction in development of something which patient needs today, and the healthcare ecosystem will benefit from it. The end user engagement, as I said, hospitals participation in startup incubation cluster level. At each state, we have a government body. At each state, there are incubation cells in industry, under the Industry and Commerce Ministry, and various institutions and universities have their incubation centers. We need to have a registry of the hospitals who are willing to participate with them, so that they are also aware. Because of this unawareness of that there is a lack of intent from the hospitals, majority of associations does not happen. Integration with other equipment and softwares. So we need open source platforms for compatible bidirectional integration between various applications. Seventh is big data analytics and migration from one tech to another. Big data, I mean to say, is that from the hospital information system and various applications which all the hospitals have adopted, there's huge data. We need to stitch that data, combine that data, and meet our EHR requirements and the other requirements. We need to be non-intrusive, and we need to relieve the clinical team from data entry in the softwares, which will help in a larger scale adoption at a clinical level also. The eighth is the regulatory approval tax. The access to ethics committee and faster regulatory approval for production is what is required. I had an example. I met a startup. I selected the application, did the demo for 1.5 months, but we didn't have the regulatory approval. It will take 1.5 years. The ethics committee did not approve it because we didn't have the certifications. So it was cost effective. It was one of the remote solutions to be implemented in ambulance network system, but we have to wait. But whenever we will get the licenses, I shall definitely go for it and implement that in a system, because it is low cost, it is affordable, it is made in India, and it is by a startup, and it is innovative, better solution than any other multinational company. So these are my views on how to scale the technology, how to get it adopted, where are we and all the other hospitals, how we have adopted in technology basis our requirements. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thanks all.
Yes, sir.
It was a wonderful mix of presentation. Before we take the platform to the discussion level, I would add a few points to that. See, my understanding of using technology in hospital is, whereas technology is something which reduces the human interface, it decreases the human errors, it improves efficiency and the results, and of course increases the paper or the manual work, and it makes the life very easy for all, the staff members, the doctors, and the patients too. Now, when we are talking about technology in the hospital, I would rather classify the use of technology into different areas of the hospital. The first and the foremost group is where we are using technology for the use by the doctors in their clinical work, or technology helping in their clinical processes and making life easier for the patient, making it convenient, and making it easier for the home care processes and the procedure which are done using the technology. The second subset would be where technology is used in the hospital to improve the processes of the hospital. Third important part of use of technology is where the technology is used for analysis of these processes, and somehow it uses artificial intelligence, or the analysis is then interpreted by the higher up authorities to evaluate all the processes and improve the processes. So whenever we are talking about technology, we have to first see the use of technology in which subset which it is there. The second most important point is very high-tech technology they are using in their hospital. But the project or the process of adoption of technology by the hospitals would not be successful till the time the smaller and the medium scale hospitals and the hospitals in the tier 2, 3 cities, they start using these apps or these technologies for improving their processes, their functions, and for the benefit of the patient. Now, one hiccup which usually comes is that with multiple vendors available, different types of technologies available, if someone goes to a hospital to ask them or request them, asking them to use a particular technology, the person who is important in making the decision might not be aware of all the technological things which are available in the market and what all different platforms are available. Most of the small hospitals are still struggling with using even a telemedicine portals. There are no actual ratings on any of the parameters which are at the moment available in the market, that if we can compare whether this product is an apple, and if apple is to be compared to the apples, then it has to be done like that. If apple should not be compared to the oranges. Then what happens is that I opt for a technology, and within 2-3 months, another vendor comes with new features, and I am again at a loss what to do now, because there is very difficult interchangeability or transportability of the technology between the two vendors. I'm not really sure whether using the technology is going to improve the efficiency in my hospital or not. What is the user friendliness and adaptability of the technology which I am opting for? Every hospital would want to customize the platform which suits it the most. And what would be the actual advantage of the use of technology in the hospital that the customers or the hospitals, they usually do not know when they are exposed to these technology vendors for the first time? They are worried about whether it will be a viable option or not, and what will be the return on investment. So based on these things, what we started with a project in our hospital is that we subdivided a particular platform in terms of usability, adaptability, and all these things into some 32 parameters. And we arbitrarily started to compare the different technology platforms on these. So there were two subsets. First was the technology was used for what purpose in the hospital, and to compare the apples to the apples and oranges to the oranges, how were these two technologies faring against each other. So these were 3 or 4 points which I wanted to suggest before we take it to discussion. I think when we talk about scalability, the scalability in perspective of a IT company or a startup would be when it can be used in maybe multiple hospitals. But what I see is that if you talk about technology adoption by the hospitals, the scalability would matter if more number of hospitals in smaller cities and smaller hospitals adopt that technology. So there's a difference. It might be a wonderful thing, could be adopted by very big hospitals, or it could be a simpler solution, but it has to be adopted by much more number of hospitals. So how do you look at this problem to be solved? Nishant, what is your view about that?
Sir, we large hospitals have financial budgets, capex, and an ability to experiment with new innovations and technologies. We are a torch bearer. As far as smaller hospitals are concerned, we all need to give openness to them to come to us and see how we have adopted, how our clinicians are working, and then only that barrier or a phobia of them investing real value proposition to identify and implement will be possible. There are a varied array of applications, clinical technology, and operational softwares, Patient Connect are available. The smaller hospitals need to define their scope, that to what level they need to use that kind of an application. Once they define the features and the scope, the cost can be rationalized. So the conversation that new technologies are very costly is not so be the case. If we have a real mix, or if we can guide the smaller hospitals basis their requirement and scope, we can achieve the scalability.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sukara, and all the Colonel Dayananda, as well as all the wonderful speakers.